Hi, I'm Hong and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm waiting for the sun to rise. I guess it always rises, but there are some days when it's covered by the clouds and I can't see it in the sky. Or sometimes it rises really early and it's too late. Regardless, I still try to come to the harbor on Saturday mornings even if I can't see the sunrise. And I think I've learned a very important thing from this hobby that I try to remember whenever I fail. Most of the times, maybe 9 times out of 10, I am the reason why I fail. When I miss the sunrise, I may not have woken up early enough, I may have missed the train, or I may have miscalculated the time it takes to travel to the harbor. But sometimes, no matter how early I wake up to see the sunrise, the sun is covered with clouds the entire day. No matter what viewpoint I choose, all I end up seeing is a gray sky. That is to say that no matter how much I try or prepare on a given Saturday morning, I will not be able to see the sunrise. Through this, I've learned that sometimes failures are not the result of me doing something wrong, but an unfortunate consequence of wrong timing or being in an unfavorable environment. The stars just do not align, and there's simply nothing to do but fail. And as someone who is very hard on himself and is constantly analyzing what I do right and wrong, this is really hard for me to accept. That sometimes I simply cannot overcome my situation. However, when I reflect on my life, I think that these situations occur frequently. It happens all the time in career, whether it be job searching, job loss, or job advancement. And thinking of relationships, I think it's common to meet people who are the right people at the wrong time. And something that has become very apparent to me in my 20s is the frequency at which this dilemma appears in friendships. That no matter how much time and energy I pour into someone, or that someone invests in me, physical and emotional distance gets the better of us, and our friendship wanes. But I guess that's a video for another time. While I was reflecting on this thought, I was reminded of the story my father once told me of an influential politician who had lost his job when an opposing faction took over the administration. Instead of running for office again, he simply retreated to his house by a lake and began fishing every day. Eventually, a reporter visited him and asked him why he was spending so much time fishing. He replied, "I'm not fishing for fish, I'm fishing for the right time." Instead of fighting an uphill battle, he was waiting for the political tide to turn in his favor. It's a simple story, but it has stuck with me to this day. The lesson of the story goes beyond choosing your battles and touches on reconciling with your losses. Of course, there are always things you could have done better or can do to improve, but there are times when that effort could be better spent on self-care than on self-improvement. And as I found out, one way to cope with both avoidable and avoidable failures is to allow others to love and take care of you. Because with others by your side, there is hope that even the biggest and most painful failures can become cherished memories that you become thankful for in the future. And of course, when you do eventually overcome your obstacles, and you will, the view that you share together becomes exponentially more beautiful. Of course, there is a fine line between giving yourself grace and simply being lazy, but in any journey, there are times that we must walk and times that we must be still, and there are times that we should criticize ourselves, but also times that we must console ourselves as well. Once again, you are not alone in your failures, and you never have to bear their weight alone.